You're watching NHK World, and this is Newsline for 1 a.m. Japan time. Radiation levels 40% higher than the yearly limit for the general public have been detected just over 30 kilometers from the Fukushima Daiichi power plant. The Science Ministry says a reading of 1.4 millisieverts was made on Wednesday at one spot in Namie town, 30 kilometers northwest of the plant. The government has not told residents outside a 30-kilometer radius of the plant to evacuate or even to stay indoors. Someone staying outdoors for 24 hours at the location where the measurement was taken would be exposed to more than the annual limit of 1 millisievert. The limit is based on a recommendation by the International Commission on Radiological Protection. The ministry obtained the reading after monitoring 10 locations outside a 30-kilometer zone. They acted following reports that relatively high levels of radiation were found outside the zone. Radiation experts say the reading does not pose a health risk, but they advise residents in the area to stay alert for any rise in radiation levels because the power plant is not likely to stop releasing radiation anytime soon. The Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency said on Saturday that it has detected levels of radioactivity at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant's water outlet that are considerably higher than previous measurements. Officials made the announcement at the news conference after having collected seawater 330 meters south of the water outlet for the 4 reactors.
Iodine-131 was detected at a level 1,250 times the national safety limit.
1 millisievert of radiation is the government-set standard for exposure over 1 year without health risks. Officials say that drinking only 500 milliliters of water at this level of radiation would equal that yearly standard. The agency says there is no immediate danger to nearby residents who have already evacuated. They add that the level of radiation in the seawater will decrease as it becomes diffused by ocean currents. The Tokyo Electric Power Company says it's possible that water containing radioactive material leaked from breaches in the fuel rods inside the reactors.
As of now, there is no report of any adverse impact on the marine life, especially beyond 20 kilometers. Experts say there is very low possibility, but we must strengthen monitoring without showing laxity.
Workers at the troubled nuclear plant in Fukushima are now pumping fresh water instead of seawater into the number 2 reactor. Experts say that further use of seawater could hamper temperature and pressure control. The measure was taken to prevent salt from building up inside the reactor and affecting its cooling capability. Seawater was used to cool reactors and spent fuel storage pools at the plant as an emergency measure following the March 11th tsunami. A similar measure was taken at the number 1 and number 3 reactors on Friday. The Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency says fresh water has helped to stabilize the condition of the number 1 reactor. The agency says it hopes to complete the switchover at spent fuel storage pools of the number 2 and number 4 reactors on Sunday. Restoration of electricity to the plants is also underway. Tokyo Electric Power Company said at a news conference that it succeeded in turning on lights in the control room for the number 2 reactor on Saturday afternoon. Lighting had earlier been restored in control rooms for the number 1 and number 3 reactors, improving the working environment. Earlier, NHK senior commentator Noriyuki Mizuno gave us his analysis of the current situation at the nuclear power plant.